the hidden mindset that shapes your future. Have you ever wondered why two people with similar abilities can end up living completely different lives? Think about it for a moment. Two students sit in the same classroom. They receive the same lessons, face similar challenges, and even struggle with some of the same doubts. Years later, one of them has built a fulfilling career, continues to grow, and keeps pushing forward despite setbacks. The other feels stuck, convinced that life has been unfair and that success was simply meant for other people. What creates this gap? Many people believe that success is reserved for the naturally gifted. Others point to luck, social connections, or favorable circumstances. While those factors can certainly play a role, psychologists have identified something else that quietly influences the direction of our lives. It's not a talent. It's not a personality trait. It's a way of thinking. And this mindset affects how we respond to failure, handle challenges, and pursue opportunities. Psychologists call it locus of control, and understanding it could change the way you approach every area of your life. The lens through which you see life. The idea of locus of control was introduced by psychologist Julian Rotter. At its core, it asks a simple question. Where do you believe control over your life comes from? People with an internal locus of control tend to believe that their choices, habits, and efforts significantly influence the outcomes they experience. People with an external locus of control are more likely to believe that luck, fate, other people, or circumstances determine what happens to them. Neither perspective is completely wrong. After all, there are many situations we genuinely cannot control. Unexpected illnesses happen. Economic crises occur. People disappoint us. Life is unpredictable. But the crucial difference lies in where we place our attention. Do we focus primarily on what we cannot change? Or do we invest our energy into what remains within our influence? That choice shapes our actions. And our actions shape our future. A tale of two responses. Imagine two people who both fail an important exam. The first person says, "I didn't prepare as well as I could have. I need a different strategy next time." The second person says, "The exam was impossible. The teacher wanted us to fail." Now, it's possible that the exam truly was difficult. But notice the difference. One person immediately begins searching for solutions. The other searches for explanations. One response creates momentum. The other often leads to helplessness. The first person studies differently, asks for help, and improves over time. The second person may give up before making another attempt. Over weeks, months, and years, these small reactions accumulate. Eventually, they create very different lives. What the research suggests. Researchers have spent decades examining how our beliefs about control affect our behavior. Again and again, studies have found that individuals with a stronger internal locus of control often display greater persistence when facing difficulties. They are more likely to take initiative. They tend to recover more effectively from setbacks. Many studies have also linked this mindset to healthier behaviors and increased satisfaction in different areas of life. This doesn't mean that people with an internal locus of control never fail. It means they are more likely to ask, "What can I do next?" instead of, "Why does this always happen to me?" That shift may seem small, but it changes everything. The danger of giving away your power. There is something comforting about believing that nothing is our responsibility. If everything is caused by bad luck, unfair circumstances, or other people, then we never have to confront our own mistakes. We don't have to acknowledge missed opportunities. We don't have to admit that fear held us back. And sometimes, external factors truly do create obstacles. But when external explanations become our default response to every challenge, we begin surrendering our ability to influence our own lives. The less control we believe we have, the less action we take. The less action we take, the fewer opportunities we create. Over time, our beliefs begin to reinforce themselves. Nothing ever changes. Not because change was impossible, but because effort slowly disappeared. The power of learned optimism. Psychologist Martin Seligman discovered that the way people explain setbacks has a profound impact on resilience. Those who believe difficulties are temporary and manageable often bounce back more effectively. They don't ignore pain. They don't pretend challenges don't exist. Instead, they maintain the belief that their actions still matter. And that belief fuels effort. Effort creates improvement. Improvement builds confidence. Confidence encourages further action. A powerful cycle begins. You act. You grow. You believe. Then you act again. A quick pause. Before we continue, if this video is bringing you value, take a moment to subscribe and leave a thumbs up. It helps this channel reach more people who are committed to personal growth, and your support genuinely means a lot. Now let's keep going. Why responsibility feels uncomfortable. If taking ownership is so beneficial, why do so many people avoid it? Because responsibility can be uncomfortable. It requires honesty. It forces us to examine our habits. Sometimes we have to admit that we procrastinated. Sometimes we realize we gave up too quickly. Sometimes we recognize that fear influenced our choices. But taking responsibility isn't about shame. It's not about saying, I'm not good enough. It's about saying, I can learn from this experience. One mindset attacks your identity. The other strengthens your character. 5 ways to build a stronger internal locus of control. First, pay attention to your language. The words you use influence how you interpret reality. Instead of saying, I have to do this, try saying, I choose to do this because it aligns with my goals. Instead of, I can't do it, try, I haven't mastered it yet. Language shapes perspective. Perspective shapes behavior. Second, identify what you can influence. Whenever challenges arise, divide the situation into 2 categories. What is outside your control, and what remains within it? You may not control other people's opinions, but you can control your response. You can control your preparation. You can control your next decision. Focus there. Third, acknowledge your progress. People often underestimate the impact of consistent effort. Did you improve your grades through disciplined study? Did you build strength through regular exercise? Did you improve a skill through practice? Recognize those victories. Your mind needs reminders that your actions produce results. Fourth, reflect without self-condemnation. When things go wrong, avoid extremes. Don't blame everyone else. But don't destroy your self-worth either. Ask yourself, what can this experience teach me? Growth often begins with honest reflection. Fifth, choose your environment wisely. Attitudes spread. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity and victimhood, those beliefs can become normalized. Seek people who encourage responsibility, perseverance, and personal growth. Their mindset will influence your own. The advantage most people overlook. Many individuals spend years waiting for confidence, waiting for perfect conditions, waiting until they feel ready. But people who develop an internal locus of control understand something important. Clarity often comes through action. They move before certainty arrives. They learn through experience. They treat mistakes as feedback rather than proof of inadequacy. That doesn't make them fearless. It makes them adaptable. And adaptability is one of life's greatest advantages. The balance we must remember. An internal locus of control doesn't mean pretending that life is always fair. Some challenges are real. Some obstacles are significant. Some situations are deeply painful. Acknowledging these realities isn't weakness. The problem arises when we allow difficult circumstances to convince us that nothing we do matters. Because even in hardship, there is often something we can influence. A habit, a conversation, a decision, a perspective, a next step. And sometimes, that single step changes the direction of everything that follows. Final thoughts. Success rarely arrives through one dramatic breakthrough. More often, it is built quietly, choice by choice, habit by habit, decision by decision. Every time you choose action over excuses, Responsibility over blame. Growth over resignation. You strengthen the belief that your efforts matter. So here's a challenge for you. The next time life doesn't go according to plan, stop for a moment. Ask yourself, what part of this situation can I still influence? Then take action, no matter how small. Because while you may not control every circumstance you encounter, you always have the power to decide what happens next. If this video inspired you, let me know in the comments. What's one area of your life where you're choosing to take back control? And before you go, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss future videos designed to help you grow mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep moving forward, one choice at a time.